Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video, and today is actually going to be part 2 of the series where I try to build a deck only using a single set. Now in the last episode where we did Scarlet and Violet base set, we built a Miraidon deck with some lightning Pokemon like with Generator and stuff. And in that video I said Paldea Evolved was next, but I actually kinda lied because there's another deck that I kinda wanted to build and make a video about, and that is going to be Gardevoir with Bayonet and Drifloon. Where's Drifloon? There. So Gardevoir, Bayonet, and Drifloon is going to be the deck we're building, and I got it right here. Save it real quick. Um, so I think we all know what Gardevoir does. It's one of the best decks in the format right now. With a Psychic Embrace ability, where as often as you like during your turn, you can attach a Psychic Energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon, and if you do, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. This combos really well with Drifloon, which has 30 damage for each damage counter on Drifloon. Um, However, I also decided to play Bayonet. See, one of the things I came up with was that our deck is never really going to be good enough to compete in the meta, eh, so we kind of have to disrupt our opponents to make their deck worse to actually get a chance. And Bayonet is a very disruptive card with an Everlasting Darkness attack, item locking your opponent, and then at the right time when you think they have a lot of items in their hand, you can do or you can do 60 damage for each trainer card they got in their hand, and just do some really good damage. Um, the reason we only played a one Drifloon is because there's no Bravery Charm, so in the set, so we're actually capped at 180 damage. So at first I had two in here, but 180 damage is not a lot. So I decided to just make it like a it's a solid one price attacker. But yeah, not much else. We also play Ref Room, just like last video. This is the best draw engine from the Scarlet and Violet base set. Rumbling engine discards an energy from your hand, then draw until you have 6. It's pretty bad, however, in this deck it's actually pretty good, because we need energy in the discard pile for Gardevoir's Psychic Embrace to actually, do anything. So it actually combines pretty well with our deck. And as I already said, we're really pretty heavily into the disruption side of things with the Bayonet. So you play 3 Judge. The Judge is not always good. Sometimes if we want to get off like a really good Poltergeist attack with a ton of damage, we obviously don't want to judge our opponent. Um, also play 2 Research. I could see dude switching here for like 2 Judge and 3 Research. I think everyone knows what Research does. Just discard draw 7. Really powerful draw supporter. Honestly, could definitely see us playing 3 Research and 2 Judge, but we'll have to see about that. We play 1 Team Starground. It's not really that good, but I mean, it is a disruptive. It's a disruptive supporter card, and I did want to play some more disruption. So this is a one-off, but energy attach your one of your opponent's active Pokemon on top of their deck. This makes them guaranteed to top deck an energy next turn, which is pretty good. So they cannot top deck like an Iono or something. However, I think I don't think it's that good in this. It's pretty good in this deck, but overall it's not like that good. So I'll only play a one-off of Team Starcraft. Let's play one Jack. We just really had to find our evolutions. We also play 4 Ultra Ball, but I feel like we can never be safe enough with when it comes to consistency, because if there's one thing I've learned from playing this game is that for these like rogue kind of decks, like the consistency is always a problem. Like it's always the number one problem. So I feel like just some more consistency with Shaq. Let's play 4 Crushing Hammers. As I previously said, we're really leaning into the disruption side of things. Crushing Hammer, a really good disruption card. Flip a coin if it's discard an energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon. That's honestly just really strong. I mean, on average, if we play all 4 Crushing Hammers, on average, we should be able to discard 2 energy from our opponent's active Pokemon. Combine that with Team Starground and the item lock, and we got ourselves a pretty powerful um, pretty powerful disruption deck here. Let's play 3 Pokemon catchers. There's no boss's orders in the Scarlet and Violet set. I can show you. As you can see, no boss's orders. It's nowhere to be seen. So, which is kind of a problem since it's one of the best cards in the entire game. Our Pokemon catchers basically boss's orders on a coin flip. So I wanted to play 4, but it just felt like a bit too much. So I played 3, but I think it's pretty important to have these just so you can get gust stuff around. Maybe because maybe you want to try to like trap something so you can spam Everlasting Darkness, right? So Boomcatcher, pretty good. 4 as well for Ultra Ball. Just really want to be consistent with the deck. And 3 rare candies. Just we really want to get Gardevoir. Without Gardevoir, I mean Bayonet. We can still use Bayonet without Gardevoir, but I just like Gardevoir. Unless like we just want to get Gardevoir out as fast as possible, right? So rare candy just helps us do that. And then the rest of the cards are kind of filler cards. The rest of the trainers are kind of fillers. I went for Pokegear. It's actually in the sets, and for this deck we definitely need like to find the right supporters at the right time. Like sometimes in the early game we want to find Jack, and the others are kind of bad. Maybe in the late game we kind of disrupted our opponent so much that they are relying on top decks, and then we can use Team Star Run to make sure they don't top deck anything good. Sometimes we want Judge if our opponent has like a really big hand and we don't really want to go for Poltergeist. So sometimes we want Research if we have a hand with a lot of energy that we want to discard for Gardevoir's attack. So a lot of different supporters that we need at the right time. Also play one switch. Honestly, there's not really anything. It's not really good. It's pretty bad actually in this deck, but it's just more kind of filler than anything else because it's not good, but it's better than everything else that you see in here. So yeah, I did decide to go for one switch. But you never know, it can be useful. Room does have 2 retreats, so they could try to trap it. And I'm not sure, but I think Gardevoir doesn't accelerate energy to Room. So if we by some miracle actually, if our deck by some miracle is actually on the winning side, our opponent can discuss our Room, just kind of make it stuck in the active, so we can use switch it right back out. But I went to Defiance Band. I basically just wanted to play a tool card. We like 3 Arvins, so I just kind of wanted to play a tool card in here. Otherwise, we're just getting 1 item card for supportive return, which just doesn't feel great. Yeah, this is the deck. But Bayonet with Gardevoir, I think it's pretty solid. I'm not sure if it's better than the Miraidon deck I built. There's I think the main problem with the deck is that there's not really any other good attackers. I think the main problem is just the damage output. There's just not much damage output. With Defiance Band, Gardevoir can hit 220, but that's not really relevant, I don't think. So overall, the deck just kind of struggles to do big damage. It's like you're basically 2-hit KOing everything. And then Bayonet is just not KOing anything, it's just trying to trap something in the active. So Bayonet's probably better in matchups like Charizard or Regidrago, where they're like really tanky guys, because we can try to KO him with Poltergeist. And for like the Raging Bolt kind of matchup, and that matchup maybe Drifloon or Gardevoir or some stuff like that might be a little bit better in that matchup. So here's the deck. I hope you enjoyed this video. I sadly cannot. How do I call it? I cannot play this deck sadly because I don't have the credits to buy all this stuff and online, and I obviously don't have all these cards IRL. So I sadly cannot show you any examples of play testing with the deck. However, I think this is a pretty decent list. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video. I